talk about seeing reality as it is clearly and seeing reality through the voice of the mind. You know, when you watch a soccer game or a sport game and there is somebody taking the microphone and explaining, right, broadcasting about what is happening, the same we have in our mind. There is a part of us that explain reality, and he's taking the microphone and start to explain you things about yourself, telling you things about your body, about your partner, telling you stories about your partner or people you are dating, telling you stories about life itself, if it's dangerous, if it's scary, if it's safe. And slowly we start to believe this voice. But there were years that you didn't have this voice in your mind. Look at kids, they're still free. They don't analyze so much, right? They don't think so much. It's just connect to reality. Oh, there is a tree, let's climb, right? There is an ocean, let's jump and swim. Sometimes even no fear at all. If you had small kids, you know. Or if you remember yourself as a young kid without fear, it's totally connected. And sometimes when you can think about it, can bring tears even, longings of the time of freedom, no worries. You didn't know so much about the world. You didn't read news, hopefully, as a child, and you felt safe. But then something happened, and you started to think a lot and analyze and criticize and separate. And I remember my son one day, it's a true story. He was around the age of 6, and he came to me and said, Mommy, what is this voice? And you know, those moments when you have kids or moments in your life like that, you remember. And I said, I don't know. I didn't hear anything special. Even a car didn't pass that time. And I didn't know. And he said, but what is this voice, Mom? In the beginning, I was scared maybe something is wrong. But it took me a little while and I understood that he started to think. And it's the first time that I experienced it live suddenly. And it's strange, right? Suddenly you have a voice inside that you hear most of your day. Let's do a short exercise. Close your eyes for a second, everyone. Close your eyes and think about something. You can think about things you need to do. You can think about this webinar. Do you think in a man voice or a woman voice? Do you hear your thoughts passing? You can open your eyes. If you didn't have an answer, try to do it also after. Close your eyes. Now try to listen to me, but alone, close your eyes and listen to your mind. And I realized that men think in a man voice and a woman in a woman voice. And by the way, everybody thinks in their own voice. And this is very strange because it's without a vocal cord, but it is a radio station inside. And somebody took the microphone and took your voice and started to transmit. And the way that he's transmitting is according to your traumas, to your imprints, to your parents, to the things you learned about life. And I'm wondering if this broadcaster is positive or negative. And for sure both, but most of the time, he's a critic, he's a policeman, or she. He's kind, he's a partner and a friend. He's encouraging you more, scaring you to go out of your house, to engage, to date, to grow, to fall in love. He's telling you, yeah, you can do it, it'll be great. Or he's telling you, oh, I'm not sure, maybe, don't do it yet, you're not ready, you're not good enough. This is not easy to live with this voice. It's so tiring. I had a session this week and we talked about it's so hard to do things when you have this negative voice inside. And it's so easy and beautiful to do things when you're encouraging yourself, when you're passionate about something, right? If the mind is saying, no, it's hard, it won't be good enough, just drop it. Or you want to go to a party. No, you are tired. You had a long day. Tomorrow you have something in the morning. Stay at home. Oh my gosh, how will I have energy even to get dressed and to go out? But if the voice will say, hey, it's going to be a great evening, maybe you'll meet someone, or maybe you'll dance, and it'll be fun. Up, you're putting music and you're dressed and you're out. So who is controlling your life? Reality itself, or this voice in your mind that is trained by people that maybe you don't want to be like them? Maybe strict teachers, maybe critical parents. What did you learn about life? What did you learn about love, about relationships? So we don't want to really live our life according to things we saw in the childhood. Because I don't know what you saw. I had parents that argued a lot, divorced when I was 4. I don't want to have a relationship like that. I didn't want to. So I didn't want a relationship for a long time. I didn't want to get married. But when you change the approach and you open up, and in a way, instead of adding more ideas, because if you have the negative and you add the positive, okay, there are relationships that are not working, like my parents and maybe people that you know, and there are relationships that are working, it's more ideas. So we're starting to be confused. But if you connect to reality as is, it's so easy. It's so easy to take decisions. It's so easy to be clear. And it's so easy to see the beauty. Now, sometimes I don't know if you had this moment that you're really connected. You were hiking and nature was beautiful and vivid. Marisa is riding horses. So you're riding a horse and you are becoming one with the horse. Or you are climbing. Or just you're with the baby and you smell the baby and you feel oneness, no thoughts. Or with your pet and you know, it's so fluffy and so soft and nothing else exists. You are one with this moment and you enjoy. You don't have a voice telling you, oh, now you're caressing your baby and you enjoy. Oh, now your pet, you know, this is the kind of the dog and you are just caressing. You are just one. And those are the moments you really that are joyful. And I hope you had those moments also with people because it's easier in a way to have those moments with animals and nature. Why? Did you wonder? Why it's so easy to enjoy, to become one, to be in meditation, you can call it as you want, with nature and with pets. But somehow when there are people around, it's less common. It can happen, but it's less common because we're afraid. And it's all about fear. If you don't feel safe, you're overthinking, there is a wall that separates you, and then also you are lonely inside and you are detached from reality. And even there is a beautiful person there next to you, in front of you, you cannot really connect. Some parents cannot really connect with their kids because they have judgment, because they want to be successful, because they want to, you know, to manage in life. So they're pushing them through criticism, not accepting them and supporting them and give them tools, but accepting them and showing them the beauty. So we are going to talk about how to lead yourself today because we're not talking about kids, but we are talking about inner kid, right? And you know that inside we have younger parts inside us that sometimes can make a mess. So how we can lead all those voices inside. Today we're going to do it in a different way. Usually the webinar I talk for half an hour and then questions. Today it's going to be more interactive. So Zoe collected some questions about the subject. And I want you also to share a little bit questions in the chat if you're open to that. And I feel that if you'll share a personal question in the chat or just something you're curious about, you'll benefit more because I can talk forever, as you know me, and I want it to be more personal today. Okay? But in general, the mindset work is to calm the fear, to calm the mind, and to bring you to a place of peace that you can see the beauty, that you can relax, that you can enjoy, and sometimes even cry. You know, beauty is not only smiling and being happy. When you are sad about something, This sadness is love, right? And love is beauty. So it doesn't mean you'll just be happy, happy all the time. We'll just be able to feel, to dance freely, to cry freely, to connect, to live life. We make it so complicated, right? Look for an animal. It's so easy. I'm looking at my cat. I have a Mancoon. It's a huge cat. It looks like a dog. And it's so easy. He's eating, he's going out, climbing a tree, he's in the sun, he's peaceful, he's sleeping a lot. We also need to sleep a lot. And if you don't sleep well, it also can hurt your well being. And we are so complicated, right? Thinking so much, harsh with ourselves, hard with other people, fighting, inner fight, and fighting outside. So the work can really help you come to a place of peace. In retreat, for example, that's what we create. We bring you to a safe place. Marisa, you're going to be there in 2 weeks, right? And good food and very healthy and beautiful animals around, deers and trees and nature and comfortable bed and everything that will feel safe. It's a closed place because again, if you don't feel safe, you cannot really enjoy, right? Because the survival mode is more important than anything. And it's, by the way, it's right. If as a child you had to be in survival mode and you are being abused or attacked or fearful, you cannot enjoy. It's like it's not. So we create a safe place. And then we bring you into meditation. And then people say, wow, on the way back from lunch, wow, this flower was there all the time. I missed that. Or look at the sky, so beautiful, and things looks different. How come? Because we don't have the voice that explain to us things, or sometimes taking us from reality. Instead of enjoying the view, you are busy with past, with regrets, with guilt, with stress, with anxiety, with future, with ah. So you take a break in the retreat or in a session, you take a break and then you come back home and still there is a lot of work to do, but you know it's possible to really enjoy and to be yourself and to be like a child and to be natural and life can be simple. You have a glimpse how it can be, how you can be. And then we need to use tools in our daily life in order to collect more moments like that and learn how to calm the mind. The mind is there for a reason, as I said. It saved you, it protected you. But we don't need it as hectic and fearful as it is, because then it's more damaging than helping. It's separating us from people. And judgment, by the way, it's the first thing that separates you because you think expectations, you think how people should behave, how things should be, and you're disappointed, and then you're separated. Why not to accept? Each person is different. Today I had a session about relationship, and she was talking about him. He's like that, he's like that, he's like that. Like after 10 minutes, I said, yeah, but the session is about you, and he's your partner. Now, if you want to separate, let's talk about that, and I will help you. But you don't want to separate, you want to be with him. So of course you have things to work on. Everybody here have things to work on, right? We have a list of things we want to improve, to upgrade, right? So why to look all the time only of those 5, 7 things that he needs to change? Because I can all the stories I can really. I told her, you told me now for 10 minutes things about him. Let's write it in few seconds, in 7 things that he needs to change. Maybe we'll do it, maybe not. But to be with someone and to just focus on that and then also to hope he will change, this is a recipe for suffering. You're going to suffer now for 20 years. Why not to see the beauty? There is also a reason you are together. You wake up in the morning. Do you choose to see the beauty in a person, in a sister, in a sibling, in a parent, this is why I'm saying in a baby and pet, it's easy. We don't have judgment, right? Who judged the cat, the good dog? I never heard here in San Francisco. Everybody has a dog, and they really treat them as babies. And nobody said my dog did that. He's not good enough. You don't hear that. Oh, baby is perfect, right? Every baby is perfect. So why to? Also, we are in a way babies, and why we are not? We don't deserve this compassion. you know? And why not just to see the beauty in people around you in life? Of course, there is a lot of pain and negativity and the world, it's a lot, but we can, if we can change something, if we can do and contribute, do it. If not, silent. I don't think a lot, only if I need. So when you practice meditation, and I'm jumping to solutions, but we will talk about meditation. We need to talk about meditation. When when you practice meditation for a long time, in the end, you choose when to think and when not to think. Like I want to think about what to say today, and I love freedom, but I write myself like something connected to the subject. So I'm thinking about it for 10 minutes. I don't need a lot. I'm doing it for 22 years, but I'm writing a little bit and meditating, and it's always nice. But I don't have thoughts like I had before, chaotic, attacking me about different things, throwing me to think about the past, the future, people in my life. And I don't have it anymore because I tame my mind. I took the microphone and I said, no, no. And there is a way to do it. And it's beautiful because the fruits are with you after until the day you die. Okay, Zoe, we are ready for questions.
Okay. First question. How do you know it's your mind and not you?
Yeah. So, first of all, whenever you are patient, you are calm, you see the beauty, it's you. From the center, we are patient. Sometimes we're angry. Think about kids. Sometimes they can be angry if there is something um, dangerous that is happening, or somebody's hurting them, or belittling them, or hurting them mentally, physically, emotionally. So then they can be angry. But most of the time, it's joyful. I have an 8 years old daughter. She's excited from morning to night. What we are doing? What? Oh wow! Just excited from life. I didn't see her sitting and thinking, about about I don't know what. So basically, the mind is worried, is heavy, is older. Sometimes we want to use the mind. It can be practical, efficient, and curious and smart, right? And we need the mind. But it's different when you use your mind or when the mind is coming. The second thing, the mind is like a monkey jumping from subject to subject. It's not organized. It's a little bit chaotic, and you feel confused. So basically, the characteristic of the mind are thinking too much, worrying, critical, perfectionist, competitive, blaming, pessimistic, cynical sometimes if it's like hurting already, stubborn. My gosh, the mind can be stubborn, opinionative, argumentative. Why to argue? For what? In the name of justice, sometimes people can ruin dinners, right? Can ruin the harmony. Why? Is it worth it? The mind can complain about things. All of that is not the quality of the self, of the higher self. It's more simple, more clear. And again, I'm sure that in your life you had moment of clarity that it was just like that. And if you don't have a sort, like for example, Marisa has horses, somebody else, everybody has something, painting, sculpturing. Artists have that. They describe sometimes when they create art, they're not there. Who is not there? The mind. They're one with everything. Meditation is for me already, but in the beginning it was challenging, the meditation. So you basically you need to find a place that you feel healthy, that you are resting, and this is the you. And from this state, you can also take decisions. You can see things. It's not that you are passive. Okay. Yeah.
So, about decision making, and this is a personal question, I just had to make a big decision. So, when I'm making that decision, there are a lot of voices in my head, a lot of stories, feelings, my heart wants things. How do I make that decision, or how do I recognize what's the mind, what's the heart, and what my center should do?
Yes. So decision making, it's really amazing to see how different parts inside us can take decision in a different way. So today, in order to answer this specific question, I need to use the modality of the mind heart center. Well, remember in the beginning, I said the mind took over, something happened, right? You didn't feel safe. You were attacked, you were abused, parents divorced, you moved the country, you went in survival mode, something at school. Today I heard a story about she was wonderful and free until the age of 10, and then at school, girls start to tell her things about her clothes, about her parents, and she started to be confused. So the mind take over and the heart is suppressed, right? And then many times the mind will be the one to take a decision, usually out of fear, but the mind in general will always tell you things you need to do. There is a list of things you need to do, and sometimes goals. In order to achieve these goals, you need one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. The heart will tell you what you want to do. And let's take a few examples. You open the refrigerator, you see a big piece of cheesecake, but you have a diet, and the mind is saying, don't touch it. You start a diet. And somehow you find yourself sitting with this cake and eating it. Who took this decision? Well, the heart. The heart is excited. You eat a piece of cake, you want another piece of cake if you like the cake. Um, so the heart and the mind will never agree, and people call it confusion. I don't call it confusion because there is clarity. I know there are two voices inside, and when you want to take a decision, you will get two different opinions. It's rare that you have a one voice, and it's amazing. If you have a one voice, say, "Let's do it," just do it. Don't wait. But usually, people have the inner debate. And then the mind will say, I don't know about you, but you can tell me what your mind said and what the heart wanted. And it can be from small decision of buying something in the supermarket when the heart will uh, more think about the design of the bottle and the smell and and it will not think like the mind about the price, about the size, how many milliliters is this shampoo. The mind and the heart are seeing things differently. It's different lenses. Yeah. And then how can you decide? So, first of all, in decision making is to bring clarity of the two separate voices. And then slowly recognize that one voice is operating out of fear. You want to go to the party, the heart wants to go, yeah. And the mind is saying, no, no, it's too late. You have a meeting tomorrow. It's not safe. I don't know. Um, don't go. You will not enjoy anyway, and they're not really your friends. Is also it's hard. You need to. How can I connect it to fear? Because the man is very smart. He can explain you why not or why to do it, to take this job or not to take this job, and he give because he's more advanced than the heart and he has more years of experience. He can really give you justification and explanation that will be based on what people think about the future, about safety, about security, about things like that. And you really be, convinced that this is the right thing to do, and the mind will convince you to do it. Well, there is a little another voice inside that is more quiet, and this is the voice of the heart telling you, "But I want," or "But I don't want." So many times you hear no inside, but you do it anyway because you comply others. A friend asks for help, you are tired, you're exhausted. You will say, no, 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 I want to sleep. Yeah, yeah, of course. How can I help you? So this is the mind complying, even though it's not connected to the body and how much energy you have. Now, I'm not saying not to give, of course, because the mind says, Priya is saying not to give. No, I'm saying to give from a full tank when you have energy, not when you are already, once only the steams are there, and then you're hurting your body. So this is the work with the mind and heart is to understand what the mind is saying and why, what the heart is saying and why. And sometimes you go with the heart and sometimes you go with the mind. It's not that every time you go with the heart. Sometimes you go with the mind because the right thing to do. So talking about your decision, can you separate it to mind and heart, Zoe?
Yes. So my mind Do you want me to go through it?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Well, my mind was telling stories about, well, it is a little complicated. Okay, my heart was like adventure, new place, new location. It's about an art school, very free expression, teachers there. And then my mind was saying, but at home, we have everything at home. We don't have to move. But it's a little complicated because then I think my mind was also using a manipulation of trying to like escape, or it's like a little, was some reason was like trying to, had then painted a picture of why San Francisco here, like I need to get out of here, and I've been here for so long, and then like lost connection to like how much I do love this place and I have my community here.
So it's not always clear, right? But then you are writing, journaling, and decision making can really help. Why to stay? What do I love for my heart? What do I love here? I love the nature. I love the community. My partner may, maybe want to be here as well, and I love my partner. I love, I don't know, my place in Sosolito. I love the ocean. You're right. Whatever you love here, and what and why do you want to move? And art you will do both places, if I understand right. You'll do art here or art there. So basically, you're going with your heart in deciding what to study, but you come from a different background, right? Before your mind took a decision about what to study and your job, and today you are choosing from your heart, and you are giving a chance for your heart to explore. So already it's a decision of the heart. And then you are saying location. And sometimes, by the way, again, we're not always going with the heart. Sometimes it makes sense to start something new, but not to change everything. So sometimes we are going with the mind. It's not that the mind is against us all the time, right? And sometimes the mind is right. But we want to really, you're going deeper and you're saying, wait, why the money is telling me that? Because it's practical and efficient and safe and right, or because it's fearful, and he's afraid to try new things, and because he's complying others too much, and because he's used to sacrifice, or because he learned it from a parent or a teacher, and I don't want to be like that. And so it's beautiful inquiry. And it's really beautiful inquiry to go and to start to bring clarity into a messy picture, and then it's not that you have immediately an answer. You are putting it on a paper, and so every time that the subject comes again, you are saying the answer will come. I don't want to think about it now. The answer will come, and the answer will come. The way we take decision from a calm place, it's not like somebody is pushing us now. Take a decision now. It's important now. This is not the way to take a decision, even if you need to do it fast, but without stress. So you just take a decision. Now, if it's small decision you need to take every day, sometimes I work with CEOs, they need to take hundreds of decisions a day. You don't know, okay, it will come. Things are moving. So you just take a decision, and some will work, some will not. And this is also a quality of the center. It's not so heavy. It's not so serious. The mind takes life so seriously. And in the work, we are trying to balance knowing that life will pass, everybody will die successfully. We have 80, 90, 100 years here. I don't know how long. We want to enjoy. We want to have a colorful book of life, right? We want to be joyful. That's what we want, basically. So it's not really, we take so many decisions. It's okay. In the other hand, in Zen, that's saying you don't want to put salt in the tea. So it's like the details are important, but not with all this heaviness, because it's slowing us down, and it's not that complicated. And nothing is new. All your problems, people experience it before. There are solutions also. So using, other people' knowledge and wisdom, how to move faster and to flow in life is great. So Zoe, did you decide or not in the end?
Yes,
Okay. What did you decide? I'm curious.
San Francisco.
Okay, good. Good for me. But I'm happy that you are here. But freedom is important. Okay. Somebody wants that they are here to ask a question. You can unmute yourself. You can write in the chat. You can ask a question about the subject, not about the subject. Everything is connected. And now notice the voice in your mind, what is telling you. What is voice is telling you? Why not to ask a question? Maybe you don't have a question, it's okay. But if you have, let's say you have somebody here for sure, why not to? And this is the fear. And it's okay. And you don't need to do it, but just recognize it that the part of you is taking opportunity from you. And if it's happening here and you're in a safe place, I mean, we're all coming from the same longing, to evolve and to grow. So probably the man is doing it also in the world, stealing opportunity from you, opportunities. Unless you don't have a question, it's okay. But probably you have a story. Why not to bring it? Because what people think, because it's not important enough, because you're not important enough, because it's not smart enough. You judge yourself because it's not connected, or, you know, you want to let go of those voices. It hurt your life. No need to do it. We want to choose compassion and freedom. Think about kids, they they are not introvert, that already like shy and hiding themselves, and they're talking nonstop from morning to night. Believe me, I know. So so basically you have an inner kid inside that wants to play with me right now, for sure. So just for you to see, I want you to take one thing from this webinar is to start to listen to your mind, and not to wait to your meditation, or not to wait to a session, to do it daily, to start to listen and to be curious about that. What the mind just told me about this or that, about this calling, about my daughter, about, you know, my mother, about, I don't know, my partner, about myself, about my body. Why? You know, can I move it aside? Can I just connect to reality? And what is reality? Simple, your breath, the pain in your leg if you have, if you're thirsty, and things will evolve and come. And when you don't have this voice, by the way, because people tell me, so what? I will meditate all day. What about things I need to do? When you don't have this voice, you do so much because you have energy. And of course, you do so much because you have a schedule, because you have work, because you see things more. It's easier for you to organize your house because you have energy, because you see reality. You see, oh, this is not the right place. It's really not the right place, by the way. And you move it to another place and you are aware of things. So, and you have energy. So don't think that somebody that is connected to the present is slow or is passive. Okay, so we have 10 more minutes and I wanted to ask questions. And after 5:15, I'm going to stay only for people that have questions about the discovery journey and the retreat. So discover, and it will not be recorded. Discovery journey is over Zoom and the retreat is in person coming up in 2 weeks. So I will stay longer today. Anybody wants to ask? Or Zoe, do we have another question?
Yes, I have one other question. So after you recognize you have a mask, that you're wearing a mask, how do you remove it or start to remove it?
So people call it sometimes a mask. Some people call it a wall. I recognize a wall, that separately transparent wall, um, in a pillar, like there is something there. So you already see that you have something separate you, or just a screen of thoughts. That, like I said, the broadcaster that is broadcasting a lot of ideas, and you don't have peace, you're anxious. When you think too much, you're anxious. So first of all, you recognize it. So Zoe is asking if, okay, I recognize that, then what? Then so many things we can do. Then the work is starting. So the first one is to be aware I'm not living a free life. I have this inner jail. I'm a prisoner. And everyone have different prisons. Some prisons are beautiful and there is nice decorations, and some prisons are colder and lonely. Some, but you feel, oh, I'm not really living my full potential, my purpose. I'm not excited. I'm not connected. And then we start the work. And we discover that usually the mind is keeping something. Like, why the mind is thinking so much? You discover that you can find ways to calm the mind, and that's what the mind needs. Like a child. Imagine a scared child coming to you. He's lost. You are going somewhere to a mall and you see a child crying and you ask him, what happened? I'm lost. I lost my parents. What do you say to this child? I will help you. It will be okay, right? We'll find your parents. You promise things you don't know that will happen, right? You don't know if you will find the parents, you don't know how long it will take, but you know that you are going to dedicate now your time to help. This voice in your mind, this hectic voice, also need help. It wants help. It's not natural to think to be stressed. It's not natural to be anxious. So a part of you is longing for help and you are ignoring it. Some people don't like it. I just can't listen anymore. I don't want to sit in the sun. So you know what? I will take a screen and I will just look at that at a movie again and again. I will eat something. Just, I don't want to hear it anymore. I will go to sleep. I will take drugs and alcohol. I will do anything. People do so many things just not to hear, but there is a child that needs help. There is a part of you that is asking for help. So we are masters in how to tame the mind, how to help the mind. And the way is with kindness and love and not with being hard with yourself. We start to develop a voice that is kinder, that it's like a kind adult, a nice teacher. I don't know if you had a teacher like that you loved. I had one for 2 years in high school. And she really looked at me in eye level and she was peaceful. She didn't judge me. She didn't punish me. And and I admired her and I loved her and I wanted to be like her. And then you understand, oh, those are the real leaders. Those are the people we're going after, right? And then you're saying, I'm going to be like that. And a thought is coming and you're saying, not now. Let's try a little bit. Let's close our eyes and take a deep breath in and out. And another deep breath in and out. And just observe your breath without changing the rhythm of the breath. Observe the inhale and exhale. Listen to the sounds. And the thought is coming, maybe taking you to things you need to do, maybe feelings of thoughts or opinions. You say, not now, not now. Everything will wait. And you come back to the music, if you can hear the music. And then another thought is coming, and you say, not now, everything okay, you are safe, you're okay. And you're coming back to the music. And relax your shoulders, little smile will happen. Release your belly. I'm going to do it for 2 more minutes. Everything will wait. Just let go. Sit comfortably. Sink into the chair, the couch, the floor. You will see how the mind is insisting, but you are stronger. You are choosing to rest with the music, with your breath. Feel the taste in your mouth. And sometimes you can let go, but other times there is a fight. Let go also of the fight. The thoughts can come and go, but you choose to stay in the moment and to rest just for a little while. And even if you can't rest now, you are aware of this master, of this voice. You can promise to yourself, I'm going to learn how to rest, how to connect, how to help my mind. It's a journey. It's a beautiful journey. Life not supposed to be so challenging. Let's take a deeper breath and open the eyes. Yeah. So when we chose to sit meditation, and again, we didn't have a lot of preparation for it, so it's hard. But maybe you are trained, maybe not. But you start to separate from this voice, to connect to what is, and then you take it to daily danger. This is the most important thing. You practice in order to amplify it. When you're with a friend, you just listen. You don't talk in the same time. You don't think in the same time. You just listen and clear your mind. And it's so important. Then you learn how to connect and to enjoy. So many moments you can't enjoy now. And it's not your fault. I was there for many years. I'm writing a book now. And the book,
Yeah, will you turn the music down a little?
yeah, and the book that I write, every chapter I start from my story, from my personal story. And I didn't think about it for years, like about myself, because I work with people and our focus is our people. But every chapter, I start with myself and my experience with anxiety, with fear, with criticism, and relationship. You will know everything about me. And then I jumping into how I help people and how I help myself and some practices. So I know I've been there. I know how it feels, and this is why I can teach because I know how to move from being, restricted and fearful and lonely into being happy. And I learned that so many challenges that I thought I have, I created, and some of them were real, but I wasn't strong enough to overcome it and just drive. When you drive, sometimes the road can be bumpy. It's not smooth. No, nobody promises a smooth ride. Not supposed to be like that. It's life. But if you are strong and confident and grounded and calm, so you drive, you're okay. But if you are not so stable, the car can fall apart. So it's possible, and I always believe if it's possible for me, it's possible for everyone.